Uh, First of all, I want to thank everyone that's here live. It's really, really cool to see that everyone's showing up. And no doubt, if you're here on the business journey, you can feel that a lot of us can get stuck or can be really challenged when we believe the story like the answers are out there, right? We're always looking for answers that are out here. We're always looking for different strategies, tools, tactics, and different ways of doing something. And then we're not getting what we thought we should and all those different things. But these calls are really important, and you always walk away with really key insights because you're always looking within. And the more you look within, the more you find some deeper truths that you didn't know you were looking for. Is anyone else finding that? Every single time I meditate, it's like I hone in on my heart, I feel it, I breathe, and I find a truth. I find an answer. I find a solution to something that I didn't even know was there. And so right now, I'll give you guys the space to just breathe, just to take in this moment, just to feel whatever you're feeling. And the more you feel it, the more you just welcome it. The more you feel all these emotions that are emerging, the more you hold a loving, safe space for it, the more you'll be giving it permission to transcend, to move on, to pass in its own time. It's a good reminder that whenever we have these fears, doubts, and frustrations on the entrepreneurial journey, it's not our job to move it on. It's not our job to shift it, to move it on, to get rid of it, to avoid it. It's our job to hold a loving, safe space for it. And the more we hold a loving, safe space for it, the more we'll be loving the side of us that has a particular belief. We have these internal 5-year-olds that have these beliefs about what we need to be like, what our life needs to look like, what we need to do in order to feel safe, in order to feel loved, in order to feel enough. And so the more you feel this, the more you give yourself permission to feel fear, doubt, frustration, worry, sadness, guilt. The more you feel it in your body, the more you give yourself permission to love the side of you that learned this is the way life needs to be in order for me to feel enough. The more you can see, hear, feel this inner 5-year-old that just wants to be seen. So right now, I'll give you space to just feel your heart. Just feel your heart breathing. Breathe into your heart. With each breath, feel each breath going deeper and deeper into your heart, making your heart bigger, making your heart stronger. And the more you breathe into your heart, realize that it beats over 100,000 times a day. And this is whether you're awake, whether you're asleep. And it's just beating just through the unconscious processes that you're not even aware of. And take in what a gift that is. With your heart beating, you didn't have to do anything to earn it. This thing that just gives and gives and gives. It's the gift of life. Now focus on your heart and breathe into your heart. And think about one thing you're grateful for, truly grateful for. What's one thing right now that can be super simple? What's the first thing that comes to mind? Maybe you guys can type in the chat. What's one thing that you're grateful for right now that you can truly feel grateful for? whether it be about you, your circumstances, your life, your friends, nature, technology sometimes. What's one thing you can truly just be grateful for and you can feel grateful for right now? My family, connecting with beautiful people. Awesome. Technology that allows us to be connected. And it says, my son. Beautiful. The amazing people in my life, my growing awareness. Grateful for Tyson's guidance and wisdom. Thank you. Awesome. And I realized, Lisa, you put that to just all panelists, so only I can see that one. But it's funny because everyone probably just thinks I made that one up. Vera says, life is rewarding me for all my leaps. Awesome. So take all that in, guys. Take all of that in and feel it. What I'm grateful for is the humor in this group. Thanks, Lisa. Now, let me remind you guys, if you feel grateful right now, and you weren't necessarily feeling this emotion before we got on this call, that's truth. That's you living in the truth that your circumstances don't determine how you feel. Your external circumstances never determine how you feel. Because your circumstances are exactly the same before the call and now. You have the same Instagram followers, I'm assuming, same amount of Instagram followers, same amount of money in the bank, same amount of relationships, right? You have the same amount of stuff. So you've just proved to yourself that who and what I am is so much more than my circumstances. So while we're on this topic, it might be a key opportunity that we can look in and start to observe. As you observe your circumstances, feel like you can do exactly that. A lot of people get lost in their circumstances when they wake up day in, day out and they're working on their business. They're like, what do I need to do? What do I need to check off the to-do list? And what do I need to do and accomplish so then I can get this? Right? That's basically the default of our ego, which is fine. Our ego isn't wrong. Our ego isn't bad. Ego is just unconscious. And when we're in the pattern of saying, I need to do this, I need to accomplish this thing so that I can get the things that make me safe. And so I can get the things that make me feel enough. And so I can get the things that make me feel like I'm loved. What you can start to notice is that pattern. And right now, while you're feeling your heart, it gives you a key opportunity that you can actually look at your circumstances. You can look at your circumstances. You can look at your patterns. You can observe your life and recognize that that's exactly who and what you are. You're the observer. So right now, what was something that you felt you needed to do today or needed to accomplish or something that needed to happen in order for you to feel safe, in order for you to feel enough, and just observe it right now. Be the observer of it. Get curious about it. And while you feel yourself observing it, you can also feel yourself separating from it. And you can feel who and what I am is not what I do. Who and what I am is not what I accomplish. Who and what I am is not my circumstances. It's not my business. It's not my social media following. Who and what I am is the space that holds all of that. I'm the consciousness. I'm the observer. Maybe you guys can also type in the chat. What do you feel? What emotions do you feel when you start to become more and more of the observer of your circumstances? Instead of getting lost and saying, this is who I am. Who I am is my money. Who I am is my status. Who I am is the title of a business owner or CEO. Who I am is whatever. When you become the observer, what do you feel? What do you feel or what don't you feel? Enough. I feel a level of detachment. I feel calmer inside. Beautiful. Sense of calm. Perfect. No matter what you feel, it's all perfect. Bliss. Beautiful. So breathe that in. While you're observing your circumstances, you can also observe the patterns within. Observe your thoughts, observe your emotions, observe your beliefs. Uranus feeling relaxed. Awesome. So breathe that in. Now, while we're observing and while we're shifting to observe our thoughts, what you can ask yourself is the question of, what are my beliefs? I ask myself this question all the time, and I encourage all my clients to ask this as well. What are my beliefs about business? Whatever you believe about business determines what's possible for you. Let me ask you this to start with. I want you to imagine in your mind a 75-year-old man. Imagine in your mind a 75-year-old man in all of what does this person look like? What is this person doing? What's their life like? Now, this will depend on your age, but this is an interesting question, because whatever you visualize is what you believe, right? Most people my age, I'm 31, most people my age will imagine a 75-year-old as wrinkles, looking old, very fragile, not able to do much. You know, everything's deteriorating. And that gives you a hint on the beliefs you have about aging. Now, you probably weren't consciously thinking that, right? You probably weren't consciously going throughout your day saying, I have the belief that when I'm 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, I'm going to look and feel this way. But that is unconsciously in our mind. And the same goes for business. Same goes for business. Me too, Kendra. I'm very, very much into health. And so when I imagine this, I imagine myself doing everything that I'm doing right now when I'm older. But here's the question. What are your beliefs about business? What are your beliefs about what's possible? What are your beliefs about how much money you can make? How much impact you can create? How many clients you can have? Does it, in some way, do you have a belief like it needs to be hard? It needs to be a hustle. I need to work a certain amount. It's going to take time. I need these resources first. It's just not for me. Other people have this skill I don't have. Ask yourself what's possible for you, because whatever you believe is possible, whatever you believe is achievable, whatever you believe is destined for you is going to determine your level of success. So if you have a pen and paper, this is a worthy exercise. This is a worthy exercise to write down all your beliefs, all your thoughts about business, about money, about what's possible, about where you're going, about how much your relationship with time, your relationship with internal resourcefulness. Because here's what I've found. Most people are trying to learn a particular tool, tactic, strategy from an unconscious belief, like I need to know this in order for it to be successful. Like you can go into my online course, for example, and you can learn some tools, tactics, strategies in there. And you can learn it from the belief, like I need to know this because I don't believe right now I'm good enough. I don't believe right now I have what it takes, and therefore I need to learn what it takes so that I can go and make this happen. Or you can go and learn it from the belief, like the pattern that says, I just love absorbing all this information. I just love being able to learn so that I can pass on to other people. I just love being able to learn so I can reach larger audiences. I just love learning how I can grow my business. I have everything inside me I need right now, but I just love learning from other people so I can get their perspectives. Even sometimes when people go and meditate, what are your beliefs around that? If you're going to meditate because you believe that you're not okay if you don't, or that you personally aren't big enough to handle what's coming up, so you have to meditate in order to transcend it. You can really start looking at the foundation of why it is what we do, right? Why do we have these patterns of feeling and behaviors, and what beliefs are driving it? They could be unconscious, but with our observation, we can make them become more conscious. So if I'm going to meditate because I believe that I'm just not worthy and I'm not capable, I can meditate and I can feel great. But what happens after the meditation? What happens if I'm in a situation where I can't meditate? I'm left hooked and addicted to the meditation. And I'm forgetting that the meditation is helping me reach me, and I'm always with me, right? So even in business, are you posting something because you feel like you need to post in order to reach people, in order to make something happen, in order to feel like you're consistently putting something out there to feel enough or to feel safe or to feel loved? Whatever it may be. Even me, I was thinking this morning, I'm thinking it would be really, really cool to give people access to this, to some of my paid content and become partners. And then as people become partners, they can support the YouTube channel, all of that. I had to sit in silence and remind myself that no matter what happens, I'm still with me. I'm just as loved, just as enough, just as free, just as safe. Even if all of the partners take all of the content and don't give anything back, I need to sit with myself and feel just as much love, just as much peace, just as much freedom as anything, right? It's truly having no attachment to the outcome or circumstances. That to me is the definition of freedom. So what questions do you guys have? If you really want to dive in on this, I have one key question that I ask everyone, and that is, what does your mind not want to have happen? For your next project, your next program that you're putting out there, your next launch, next amount of clients coming in. What does your mind not want to have happen? And whatever that is, that's going to offer some key insights. Because if you don't want to have something happen, often that leads you to the very internal 5-year-old that you need to love unconditionally. And it's through that you get to really uncover your beliefs. So for example, if my mind doesn't want me to go broke, my mind says, if you go broke, you're going to die. If you go broke, you're going to feel unworthy. You're going to feel unsafe. You're going to feel like a failure. I go into that. I allow all those emotions to come up, to be expressed, to be felt, to be seen. And then I get to hold a loving, safe space for the 5-year-old who learned, I need to make money to be safe. And that's where I start to observe that very belief and say, I have an internal 5-year-old with that belief that says, I need to make money to feel safe. Here's the crazy thing. If I go out there and make money because of that belief, if I go out there and make money because of that 5-year-old running the show, it doesn't matter how much money I make, I'll always be addicted to it. It will always determine my level of safety. It will always determine my level of self-worth. It doesn't matter if I make $10 million in the bank tomorrow, I'll still live in fear that I'm going to lose it because I feel like I need that external circumstances to feel enough. Therefore, it doesn't matter how much money I make, I'll never feel real peace. I'll never feel real freedom. That's why asking that question is so important. It gives you a clear understanding of what are your patterns, how are you running the show, and what are you addicted to. But then when you observe it, it can start to fade away. Once you observe those patterns, they can start to leave. Once you hold a loving, safe space for this internal 5-year-old, they can transcend in their own time. I ask myself that question every day. I'm like, I wake up basically and I say, what do you not want to have happen? Another way of saying that is, What do I not want to feel? Another way of saying that, what internal 5-year-old do I need to love unconditionally right now? So I've been coaching a lot of people, a lot of you guys in the serving circle, a lot of you, my clients. The main pattern that I've truly started to notice is that if you want to have a lot of success and make the impact that you are here to create and fill your programs with ideal clients that you fall in love with serving, you have to love the sides of you that can go broke. You have to love the sides of you that can fail. You have to love the sides of you that can make mistakes. We're reaching a level of consciousness now where that's the only thing. That's really the only way we're going to really heal and really succeed at the level we want, is to heal that pattern. I'm really at the point now, and you probably are too, where you don't want to make any more money. You don't want to have any more success. You don't want to have create any more impact if it means being addicted to that thing. Because therefore you're disconnected from yourself, and then the thing you're giving is from a pattern. It's never from your authentic self. But if you are just as free and loving and peaceful and kind, no matter what's happening externally, what you're giving then is not from a pattern, but it's from authenticity. It's from vulnerability. It's from openness. That's when you're just opening up to this grace that's flowing through you. And that value that flows through you is effortless. It doesn't only make a big difference in terms of the world, because the world needs it, but it is effortless. It just flows through. It is just nonstop. So what questions do you guys have? Anything coming up? We all know I could go for hours. Any questions? What I'm really keen to help people do is not only do this to transcend all these patterns so that their actual heart is flowing through, but to couple that with the tactics, tools, and strategies to get their gift out there even more. But I just want to make sure what you're actually getting out there is your gift and not a pattern. Doesn't seem like we have any questions, which is all good. Let me know before we finish up. What was your biggest takeaway here? Were there any insights, any particular breakthroughs, any particular takeaways that you can absorb, that you can take in right now, that you can apply for the rest of your day, rest of your week, rest of your goddamn life, whatever it may be? What was the key insight? What was the key breakthrough? And while you're doing that, I'll just give you guys the space to take it all in, because this is a lot. To be able to hold a space for an uncomfortable emotion is really big. The vast majority of the planet are avoiding and resisting. But the more you can hold a loving, safe space for this, the more it will transcend in its own time. And what will flow through from that is deeper levels of insight, creativity, flow, alignment, everything that you can put into your business so you can start to hone in on your messaging, start to hone in on the programs that you want to put together, everything like that. It's so cool. So Dre says, I love the way you incorporate spiritual principles into the business realm. Awesome. He says, I'm enough just as I am, and all I need to do is observe. Totally. Takeaway, I found the company that is aligned with my feelings and beliefs. Awesome. recognizing what my feeling, what my beliefs, and holding a safe for negative emotion. Awesome. Reminded of being the observer. I want to be a leader more than an entrepreneur. Awesome. I'm excited to journal on what my 75-year-old life business really looks like and see what comes up. I love that openness. Totally. I use journaling as a procrastination for trusting my intuition. Ah, awesome. Beautiful, guys. So once again, I want to welcome you all to these calls. For those of you who are jumping in the partnership program, I'm excited to consistently share and add value how I can. The more you grow your business, the more you grow your reach, the more you grow your income and your impact. I mean, that's just you living your life. That's you giving your gift and stepping into the role that you're meant to play. And the more you step into that role, the more you're truly just giving the gift that you're here to give. So once again, for those of you who might have joined late, who might have missed it, this video, the link to the video will, that'll take you to the latest video of my YouTube channel. So feel free to check it out. You can click on my name. It'll take you to the channel where you can subscribe and get notified and things like that. And also feel free to like and comment on that video as well. It's a really cool chat and a really cool, insightful conversation, especially in terms of what we're talking about here. I basically walk Kim through these types of steps, and you'll see the breakthrough she has. But once again, guys, I want to thank you for all your support, everything in the serving circle. It's just been amazing for everyone to get so much value from that community, just because you're all working together and you're actually reaching out to say hi and how you can help. So reach out to me if you have any other questions. If you have any questions about the partnership program, if you have any questions about what's expected or anything like that, I'm happy to help you guys along the way. But definitely here to support. If there's any other ways in which I can support you and your content and your groups and all those different things, just let me know. I'm more than happy to do that. Other than that, have an incredible rest of your week, guys. Loving all the support, loving everyone just consistently growing. It's just beautiful, beautiful stuff. So continue to breathe, continue to tap into your heart and just spread that love, spread that gift, spread that kindness. And you'll be doing what you can to co-create with the universe. So thank you so much, guys. Have an incredible rest of your week, okay? Take care.